I really hate to make this video about the MCU because I already made one video about the MCU a long time ago talking about if they can get back on track. And now my faith in the MCU turning things around is getting worse and worse and worse. There is so many reports out right now talking about the MCU is a mess behind the scenes. Things are being scrapped. Things are being reworked. Kang is no longer the big bad of the MCU. They're now moving to Doctor Doom. Writers are being fired every day, it seems like. A director is leaving a project every day. Kevin Feige is spread thin, which is what I've been saying for a long time now. You can't expect one guy to run every little thing. There's so many inconsistencies throughout the movies and throughout the shows. It's just characters are inconsistent as well. You look at Nick Fury from Secret Invasion and then you look at him from the Marvels. It's like two completely different characters. And the thing that gets me the most mad, the most upset about the MCU right now is what they're doing with Daredevil. What is going on? They were halfway through their entire show. Then they got rid of everything. They started completely over. Like, are you kidding me? Like, do they not know how important Daredevil Born Again is? Like, how much care and effort it need to go into the writing, into the directing? Like, look at the first 3 seasons of that show. It's a masterpiece. It's real art. And I really thought they put a lot of care into Daredevil Born Again. We were going to get 18 episodes. It was going to be TVMA apparently. I really thought they were going to do right by Daredevil. But apparently it was so bad they needed to start the show completely over halfway through its production. That's just terrible. That makes me so angry, especially because it's one of my favorite shows of all time. The original OG first 3 seasons, a masterpiece. And it was probably another rushed product MCU generic piece of crap. Now there's rumors that this new Daredevil show is going to have nothing to do with the original Netflix TV series when it originally was. Why is it so hard to just get a continuation of the Netflix series? You know how much hype there would be? You know how much excitement there would be? Like, it would be amazing if they got like the original writers, original directors, original cast members. Why can we not get the original Karen and Foggy back there? It's not like they're doing anything special right now. Like, just continue the series. I just don't understand why they can't just do that. Why do they gotta be like, oh, it's kind of connected and it's kind of not connected, but we want to do our own thing? And it's like, just make a Daredevil season 4, goddammit. It's not that hard. I love Daredevil, and they're just messing it up. Whatever's going on with that show right now, hopefully they're reworking it for the better. And I'm just saying this now, if that show is not good, and if they just ruin Daredevil, I'm already kind of done with the MCU. I know I said I wanted to give it a chance because they earned my trust, but if they mess up Daredevil, I'm out. I'm probably gonna watch just Deadpool, the Avengers movies, and then call it a day. And I really don't want to not be excited for the future of the MCU, but it's just with the Marvels, and I didn't even finish Secret Invasion. It was just, I heard it got really bad, like the final episode, but I was just so bored, and it was like so generic. And I heard War Machine was a Skrull, and he was like a Skrull apparently since Civil War, which is just insulting to the entire MCU fan base, in my opinion. Maybe it's not insulting to you as an MCU fan or whatever. I'm just already kind of 1 foot out the door. And I don't want to be. I want to feel like I should still have faith in the MCU, but it's just, there's so much bad crap going on right now, so much horrible stuff going on behind the scenes. Kevin Feige is spread thin, which is not a surprise. Like, one man can't do everything. And I still think Kevin Feige is a genius. I just think the higher-ups are just making him do too much. I think he's kind of putting too much on his plate, too. I think there needs to be organization. Everything feels so disorganized. It's felt disorganized since Phase 4. Like, the first movie in Phase 4 was a prequel movie that feels like it should have been from Phase 3 with Black Widow. In my opinion, Phase 4 should have been about the aftermath of the blip. How does the world move on from such a tragic event? Like, these are ideas that could have and should have been explored more in Phase 4. They kind of touched upon it a little bit in Phase 4, but it was like mentioned for 3 seconds about certain characters and then it was forgotten about. Something like the blip should have been taken seriously and really focused on. Like, that would have been so interesting, in my opinion, to focus on the world of post-Endgame. Like, how certain families are doing, how certain characters are doing. How does it feel to just be blipped back to an existence and say like your wife or something got moved on, or Ant-Man's character could have focused more on the fact that his daughter is no longer a little kid and he missed so much in her life, and that could have been really explored in Ant-Man 3. But is it explored? No. It's like barely touched upon, and there's really no excuse as to why they couldn't explore a lot of these ideas. COVID has nothing to do with it, writer strikes have nothing to do with it, it's just laziness and afraid of going outside the stupid generic MCU formula. That multiverse stuff could have been introduced in Phase 5. Then someone like Kang or Doctor Doom sees that there's vulnerability in the universe and tries to take over their universe and then tries to take over other multiverses. I don't want to give an entire pitch of what I would like to see from the MCU post Endgame because I'll save that for another video, but what it boils down to is there should have been a structured outline, a plan for each phase, a plan for multiple characters and multiple team-ups and TV shows. And I really do not think we need another big bad that's hinted at in every movie and TV show. What I would like to have seen is just a villain show up and then cause some shit. Instead, set up the concept of the world of the MCU recovering from Endgame, and then Phase 5 set up the world of the MCU introducing the multiverse. And then Secret Wars, Kang or whoever shows up, causes some havoc, and then bleeds on to the next Secret Wars movie. Also, another thing I think would have been pretty cool is we could see like MCU divided into like different sections. Like you have one section and it's run by someone else, so Kevin Feige isn't doing every little thing. This section could be the street level heroes and all the TVMA TV shows like Daredevil, Punisher, Moon Knight, and Moon Knight should have been TVMA. Another really big mistake by them. Echo, Jessica Jones, and then a lot of those heroes could team up for a Defenders crossover or another street level crossover or something like that. Another section could have been like the supernatural side of the MCU, which would introduce characters like Blade, Ghost Rider, werewolves, you name it. Then another section would be the galactic stuff like Guardians, the Nova Corps, different types of space galactic stuff, and that would be run by someone else. Then we have individual projects that don't relate to anything, and then we have projects that relate to the Avengers like Captain America, Iron Man, or War Machine, or whoever. You guys get the point. I feel like the MCU should have been divided into different sections. So if part of the fan base wants more adult related content, they'll go to the street level stuff. If they want the Avengers stuff, they go to that, just focus on that. And if they just want to see, oh, what's a cool story that takes place in the MCU but it's not connected to anything and it can stand on its own with its own showrunner and that showrunner's vision, then they could just watch something that's not related to anything. And like something like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had its own showrunner, Cloak and Dagger, those kind of individual projects that never related to anything, but they made references to other events that happened in the MCU. Which is why I miss the old pre-Disney Plus MCU TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Runaways, Agent Carter. And also I feel like these projects should all feel very unique and different. And that's another really big mistake the MCU is making right now, is making every little thing feel the same in terms of genericness and formula. Then they also have a problem with either not taking things too seriously or turning something into a complete joke. A lot of these mistakes could be so avoidable. And also I'm going to touch upon overuse of CGI, way too much. Certain characters are CGI for no reason, and then certain characters are wearing CGI suits for no reason. Then you have Thor wearing a CGI helmet when you could just simply give him a helmet. It's laziness. It's so lazy, and the CGI is so bad because it's rushed. Every MCU project feels like it's rushed and micromanaged. It just all needs to stop. All these mistakes could be so avoidable. It's frustrating. Marvel was one of the biggest franchises in the world. Endgame broke records. MCU always breaks records in some sort of way. This is entirely their fault. The problem isn't superhero fatigue, it's genericness fatigue, it's superhero mediocrity fatigue. And their products are feeling like they've been rushed and there's no kind of outline anything. Everything is all over the freaking place. It's like confusing. It gives people headaches. It gives me a headache trying to figure out what everything is trying to lead up to, and it's just really tiring. The MCU feels tiring. It no longer feels fun, and I want it to feel fun again. A lot of this is just avoidable mistakes. Putting time and effort into Daredevil, learning why was the original Daredevil TV series so successful. Well, just go on YouTube. You could hear so many people talking about why Daredevil is so amazing and what made Daredevil so great. It's not that freaking hard. This is Disney. They have an unlimited budget to do whatever they want, to plan things properly, to not make everything feel so generic, not make everything feel the same too. I'm sorry, there's just no excuses. I think anyone could come up with a better plan than what MCU has done right now. Okay, maybe not everyone, but you guys get the idea. The MCU has just made mistakes that were easily avoidable. And it's just frustrating that they keep on making these mistakes and they keep on like doubling down on their issues. I don't even know if they 100% know what the true problems are. Is this really going to be fixed? Do they just think, okay, we're just doing too much, let's just do more generic content but just not as much of it? I don't know if the MCU can turn things around anymore. There's just so much crap going on behind the scenes. It's just so much baggage, and I really just do not know. I really don't want to crap on the MCU, and no matter what happens, the Infinity Saga will forever be amazing and a big part of my childhood, a big part of why I love movies and superheroes, and it was just an amazing ride. I just remember those days of being hyped for the next Avengers movie, or everything was leading up to the Infinity War and Endgame, and I just remember those days and growing up with the MCU. It was amazing, and I will forever cherish those memories. It's just a shame that they have like the potential to be even greater than the Infinity Saga. They have the X-Men now, they have the Fantastic Four, they have so many cool ideas they could be exploring. Spider-Man, Daredevil, the potential was limitless, and it's their fault for why they're in the situation that they are in right now. Even though most of my excitement for the MCU is dead, like I said, I'm still going to give them a chance. Let's see how Daredevil is. Depending on how Daredevil is, I'm probably going to be done. And the only movies I'm probably going to be watching is Deadpool and the Avengers movies. Maybe Fantastic Four if it looks good. I'm at that point now where if it looks good, I'll watch it. I'm going to be honest, the majority of the projects do not look good. I will give a shout out to Echo. That actually looks pretty good. Will it actually be good though? I really do not know. Only time will